Oh, look at this. All the Flywheelers buttons.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy. That's so cool. All right,
I do have a couple engines in there. Well, I have a couple store-bought engines in there.
Okay.
I have a couple engines that were homemade by somebody else, and they donated them to me. And,
This thing has captured my attention. I need to know more about it.
okay, this is a 10-cycle engine. I
Yeah.
have a 1-to-5 gear ratio or 5-to-1 gear ratio up to the camshaft.
Okay.
Go through intake, compression, power, and exhaust, just like all the 4-cycle engines. But after those 4 cycles, the slow-moving cam hasn't made it around to start another intake stroke. So I've increased the duration of the exhaust cam to hold the exhaust valve open for 6 additional piston strokes or 3 additional revolutions.
So it's almost like a hit and miss then.
It's like a hit and miss, but it doesn't have a governor on
Okay.
here. Governors are hard to make, and they're unless you have a lot of money, and then they don't always stay in the capital.
You don't look like a guy that will spend a lot of money on this stuff. So
Oh no,
yeah.
I'm very frugal.
I like that.
I did have to pay 50 cents for a piece of brass.
See that.
That
came from a Goodwill store or something.
No, it
didn't
came from the church rummage sale. And
Okay.
They wanted $1 for it, and I waited until Saturday afternoon, half price. I made it up I felt guilty. I made it up the next day in the collection plate.
Oh, that's so cool.
It started off with a little Briggs engine I found on the side of the road. I took the head off the Briggs engine. It was about a 20-year-old engine. Sealed up, I took out the valves, sealed up the valve passages with 1/4-20 hardware, fender washers, and JB Weld epoxy. Added half a Volkswagen head. It's a 1300 cc fuel port head. The camshaft is the lower crank housing out of a bicycle. Ball bearing cam followers, roller skate wheels.
I was going to say, those look familiar.
And a small battery, a small dead battery, but powered up by some
Bigger battery and other
batteries.
batteries, yeah.
And, then I have adjustable timing here. I can set the timing by loosening the bolts and sliding this around for advance or retard a little bit. And that applies power to the Model T Ford coil for a multi-strike ignition. The fuel tank is a baby food jar, and I'm using just regular gasoline in that. I added quite a bit of 2-cycle oil just for a little extra upper cylinder lube. And then a water faucet for a carburetor. And
does it need that much flywheel to keep it running? You gotta get more on the
yeah,
other side.
this one is a steel.
But you didn't need it.
Yeah,
It would run without it.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it has enough inertia that it could be a 20-to-1 engine rather than a 10-to-1, because this is the effect you get.
What's this
That's
muffler?
amazing.
This must be a jar.
I think it was a candle holder or maybe something like that. And I used to keep it polished up, but anytime you polish anything, people say, oh, that's a nice brass steel there. And well, there goes the polish job.
Do you have a name for this piece of equipment?
Fair motor.
A fair motor?
Yes,
It works pretty fair.
What's that little food?
That's fine tuning on my choke.
That's the carburetor.
Yeah, this is a carburetor,
Right.
and then I needed quite a bit of choke. This only has 0.7-to-1 compression ratio. 2.7.
Oh, okay.
Very low compression. So when you have low compression, you have low vacuum on the intake side. So I needed quite a bit of choke to suck fuel out of the fuel tank, through a filter in the fuel tank, through the check valve, through my homemade
There's a hole in it for the fuel tank, right?
yeah.
I call it an orifice.
Okay, so
I know where we're headed
show you
with
with the Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to play that.
All right.
percussion instrument here is going a little better. Come on, you can do better than that. No, maybe not. Oh, well. Let's try it.
It's kind of played in minor chords there.
Yeah, that is awesome. I'm old and rusty, and so are my pipes, so they're a little bit out of tune. That feature in there to be able to move it, but
Yeah.
I
mean, there's other ways to do it, but
Yeah.
you just chose to do it that way.
Yeah.
When we were first looking at it, I was wondering, well, what's that nice feel for? It doesn't look like it.
Oh, he's got the whole thing powered up there.
Yeah, and it only runs when somebody comes up here. I mean, I realize you saw me plug it in, but there's a motion sensor there that senses when somebody comes up. And with all that, I call it monkey motion, all the linkage here, that eats up some of the energy. Yeah. But this engine was.
All right. Can you hit that thing a lick? Oh, that's so cool. Very cool.
But fuel injector is misfired. We're closing the valves. Keep your eye on the.
Whoa.
There was one.
Pretty good for no compression.
Well, there was one part that I forgot to put on there when I brought it out, and that's this part right here. So, and it's a bungee cord, keeps it from doing that.
It keeps it from coming out the top.
Yeah. So, you did a good job on firing, but you should have reminded me.
Well, I saw the thing laying there, and I thought, what, it was rubbing
Boy, I
against the
wish you
side.
had spoke
I
up.
started to
Yeah,
ask you.
Yeah, we would have.
I was thinking, what the hell does that do?
Yeah, no, that keeps it.
You would have remembered.
Yeah. Now, typically I have this set up to fire every 2 minutes.
Oh,
Hopefully it'll
did another
do
lick?
another lick for us. Good fire right about now.
Came off. Too much fuel, George.
Or not enough nuts.
Which is, I didn't pay for it. I didn't. Well, that's where I got the idea of doing
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah. You have a lot of kind of dead time. You're like this, and and kind of strapped to a chair.
Lots of belts and buckles.
Yeah. They use a lot of Velcro there.
Right.
It's still the sound of Velcro ripping kind of gives me. Okay, this is going to behave better now.
This is going to work.
This is going to
Third
work
time.
now.
Oh, golly.
That was actually kind of a wimpy one compared to the others. But
That's so cool.
when I